Hello everyone, here we are on Friday the 8th of May and I'm just about to start today. I'm just using, I've rounded up just some odd bits of thread ends today, so I'm going to work my way through those in, well, one way or another. And I'm just starting with this little scrap of silk thread. It's not long enough to stitch with, but it's just about long enough to stitch down. And you can see that I did some kind of random scribbly thing yesterday with some couching, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen today, but I'm just going to begin by stitching this down somehow. So I'm just going to do maybe a small straight stitch around the edge of here to begin with, and then we'll see what else needs to happen. Just heading up this last little section here to make our way back to the beginning. Just try and coax that little end down. Right. Once that thread is couched down, I've got some thread left. I'll probably go around the outside. That's just about done that, hasn't it? Right, so there's the, vaguely sort of roundish shape. And I've got an odd length of blue cotton, I think that is. I've got an odd length of yellow, also cotton, I think, and I've got an odd length of purple. So I'm just kind of having a look at what I don't like that. It's too much blue. I think purple or nothing. I know some people have huge nests of thread ends, don't they? What they're called, orts. I've never kind of really done that. I tend to use things as they happen. Otherwise, it becomes another thing to do, if you know what I mean. If you know, my feeling is kind of use it as soon as you've got it, and then you don't need to worry about how or when you're going to use it. But you know, each to their own. So I appear to have started here without really thinking about it. I've got no idea what I'm going to do. I'm wondering about joining something up with these ends here from yesterday. Let me just backtrack a bit, I think. Right, I've just restarted that closer to this edge. So I think I might just head down to that and see what happens. I've been doing this every day for 4.5 years now, and every day is still an adventure. You'd think, you know, after so many days and so many stitches, you'd think it would either get boring or stale. It really never does. Every day is an adventure because I don't know what's going to happen. And that's true of any day, isn't it? Just picking up this other end here, so I'm going to come back the other way. Yeah, so every day anything could happen. Imagine that. Terrifying, really. I'm just having a look at it, and I mean, it's really simple, but I quite like it. And I think I've got some thread left, so I think I may as well do another lap of the inside, the inner circle, and then that may well be it. So let's try that. Just doing a very simple running stitch. Sometimes people look at a day's stitching and they say, what's the story? And sometimes there isn't a story. Sometimes it just happens. You know, it is what it is. It doesn't have to explain itself. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to have come from somewhere. It can just be itself, and I think this is one of those days. Okay, we're looking at it upside down there. Still got some thread left. I don't have to use it all, but I think I'm going to do another line across here. And I think I might just self-couch it. So, self-couching is a useful thing to have in your repertoire because it saves having two separate threads on the go at the same time. And if it's a fairly short line like that, you can just, you know, take it down into the cloth and then just kind of ease it into shape as you stitch it down. And if you're lucky, you've left enough on the surface that it doesn't pull too much. And that's just practice. If you find you haven't got enough on the surface, either make your line a bit straighter or unpick and sort of tease it back out at the other end. I know we always say don't unpick, don't I? But you know, if you want to correct something, I don't think there's any harm in taking a few stitches out and redoing them. Anyway, I've got a bit of an extra bit of this left, so I'll put that to one side and I'll end up stitching that down at some point. What I have got is a tiny bit of very fine red silk, which I used yesterday to do these little running stitches in the background. And I think I might just do something like that over here. So maybe just a bit of running stitch. Just to maybe disrupt that space a bit. and then probably back again this way. Maybe one more. So there it is. I think I'm calling it finished. I've got no idea what it's supposed to be. I mean, it is itself. It is just what it is. Possibly, it's reminding me of like the flight path of a bumblebee, perhaps, flying up and down and around. Anyway, whatever it is, and whatever you end up stitching today, I hope you're having a good day. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you sometime next week. Bye for now.